And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Daily. My name is
Good
Rob
morning.
Foster, touching base with you with my buddy Chris here on deck. What's going
Yes,
on, buddy?
it's Friday already. I can't believe
Friday
it.
again, right?
I
So
feel
fast.
like it's Monday then Friday. The days in between are irrelevant.
Irrelevant. It is Friday again. I was like, man, it just seemed like we were here on Friday. Just but it's just
Yeah,
time is moving.
it's
Time is
nonstop
moving. Time keeps on. Anyway.
spinning
So
into the future.
it's the weather's getting warmer here in New York. So we get another
Yeah,
warm
same
spell
here.
today and tomorrow. And
We had
then
thunderstorms last night,
we had
man.
some here too. It
We
was
had some
flashing.
heavy rain. We had some heavy rain.
Good rain. We need the rain here. We need the rain here
Yeah.
in New York. We are at a 2-inch, I think 2 almost 3-inch deficit.
You
It
know
did
what's
not rain that much
crazy?
in
We're at
August.
I think everyone on the East Coast is a little bit at a deficit now,
Yeah.
but I would say from like January till about June,
It was raining like crazy.
it rained like every day, it seems. Just
How can we be at a
nonstop.
deficit with
I
all
don't
that
understand this.
rain? What's
I
happening?
don't get it. I don't
I
get
said the
it.
same thing, Chris. I was like, how is it possible with all that
Yeah.
rain that we're in a deficit? I mean,
We had a lot of flooding and stuff like that. So, like,
flooding.
what's going on?
I said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that there are people in the building. There are
Yes.
people in the building, and Hannah took her spot back. She said, I
Yes,
am
she
the
did.
queen of the gold. Good morning, Ron and Chris, Touch Base Daily family. And then Anthony Roland is in the building. He says, good morning, just touched down in DC. Nice. Hey, look,
Ah,
he just touched down and then turned us on. Look at that. You see
that's
you see
awesome.
the commitment of this community,
The loyalty, the loyalty.
the loyalty. And then we have in third, Mr. Adrian.
Yes.
Mr. Florence is in the building with the third. And Kelly A is in the building as well. She says, good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
And Mr. Bryson, we need a drink for Mr. Bryson. I got my
Yes,
moonshine
take a sip.
glass
Take a
today.
sip.
Here we go for Bryson. What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, RLP fam? What's up, everybody? Happy The Conjuring Friday. Got my second, S25.
No, my
Oh,
S20,
he has
S25.
S25 today, his Galaxy. You should have just thrown the Galaxy in there. That would have helped us. The Galaxy's S25. Whoa. Do you like it? Do you like it, Bryson? Let us know. Let us know how you feel about that new phone. Yes, I am now in Team Apple. Can you believe it? But it took a long time to cross over from the dark
Change is good.
into the dark
Change is
side.
good. Change is good. Change is good.
And some mornings I'm cursing Apple because it's not intuitive. It's for the folks that think with the other side of their brains.
It's the creative side.
Anthony said, yep, I'm at baggage claim, touching down. And Kelly is in the building.
Baggage claim and on his phone watching Touch Base Daily. Come on now.
Loyalty.
That alone will give you a gold star.
That's right. Hannah, watch out.
That's commitment.
And Bryson says he loves it. He loves it. He loves the new phone. And I guess Gwendolyn will be getting her new one too at some point because I used to be a Samsunger, but we Samsung people used to stick together. We used to get those new phones. And I heard that the S25 is really good. And if you like photography, I do believe it has one of the best cameras that it's ever had before. So check out, play with that phone, Bryson, play with your camera and play with all your little editing tools that you may have there. There's some really good bells and whistles on the Samsung S25 camera for photographers.
And share with us.
And you see Hannah's laughing. She's like, you're not taking my spot. Never.
The only time someone gets her spot is if she is unavailable doing something else and she can't get when
she's gardening.
Or that.
She's either gardening because she has guests coming to the house. Because she's a hostess. Hannah is a hostess. She has guests at her house all the time, so she knows
Nice.
she's on my tour. She's on my tour list. Now I'm debating if I'm in the United States, do I need a car or do I just stick with the plane? We'll figure that out. But I won't ever buy a car.
Yeah, like it's just
It's a waste of money.
one of those ride shares.
Unless you live in the suburbs, you need the car. You need the car every day. However,
Yeah, but well, yeah. I mean, unless you're moving to the suburbs and that's where you're going to settle down after your 2 years, then yes, maybe. But even still, then I mean, unless you're, you know, there are services that you can just use instead of having to have a car sit there and pay insurance for something you drive maybe 4 times a month.
well, hopefully Uber outside of New York City is cheaper than it is in New York. New York City Uber is
They're ride sharing. Period.
It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
outrageous. I mean, $90 to go from here to 14th Street. $90.
Oh. Yeah.
No
Subway.
one could ever imagine that we would pay
Subway.
$90 for a taxi.
Well, who is it? Here's the thing, and this is always the case when you get new technologies and they just first coming in, and people aren't really using it. They're so cheap. The moment it becomes relevant and everyone starts taking it, that's when the prices get jacked up. Because I remember I used to take Ubers and Lyfts everywhere,
Yeah,
and it was so cheap.
$20, $13.
And the nice thing about it was always cheaper than a taxi. And then also, as a black person, your Uber was going to pick you up, and not necessarily the taxi is going to stop and pull over and get you. So
yeah,
and it was the convenience of it. You could schedule a ride, and now it was just like I don't know. When we were in Vegas, like the Ubers just going like here and there was just like they were expensive there too.
Really.
And well, listen, we've talked about this. Vegas in itself right now is just too expensive to do anything. Food, transportation, luxury items, anything you want, like shows, everything is expensive. You can't go to Vegas and say, hey, I'm going to spend this amount of money for the time that I'm there anymore, like you did in the past. It's just know you're going to pay 3-4 times what you used to pay.
And Vegas used to be where it was cheap. I mean, that was like a
Vegas
cheap
was
vacation.
Reasonable. Yeah, you could go to Vegas over the weekend, and like $500 could go so far for a weekend in Vegas. Now it's like $500 will get you through maybe like the first day and a half.
Wow. No more Vegas for me. That's why
I told you it costs us $100 to eat every day. And I take that back. Not $100 a meal, because breakfast was like $100. Dinner was like $100. Ron, I told you. Yes. Still, it was like pancakes, eggs, bacon, coffee, fruit. It was like $100. I'm like, what the hell for? This was breakfast. I didn't eat
Those
a
are
steak.
golden sausages.
They came out the same way too.
Golden sausages. No way. That is that's
crazy.
why this is another reason why I gotta get out of the country. I got to, because that's the only way your dollars can go far. It doesn't, your dollars will not go far in America any longer. It's just it's getting more. I think the highest taxi rate was $45, and that was expensive. When taxis from our houses to the airport, they even had to pass legislation and say cap it at $45 to go from anywhere in the city to the airport.
Yeah.
Now go to the airport, it could cost you on Uber
$100.
$100.
Yeah.
$100.
Hold on. So Anthony says Uber outside the country is cheap. From Manhattan to Broadway is over $100. In Brazil, a 30-minute ride from the airport, $16. Yes, I can attest to that. When we were in England and when we were in Paris, Uber was so cheap. I remember where we were staying to get to like downtown Paris, it was like next to nothing. And
same thing in South
crazy.
Africa. I would go from one side of the country. Not country. One side of Cape Town, for the city. One side of Cape Town to the other side of Cape Town, $15.
Yeah.
Welcome to the new world that we live in.
Yes.
So,
Money grab.
what's on your agenda for today, Chris?
Well, I got up early this morning and I did most of my housework already. So, um, Karen has vacuumed and mopped already. And for those that don't know who Karen is,
Who's
Karen is
Karen?
my. I never told you who Karen was.
No, who's Karen? Oh, yes, you
Yeah,
told me Karen.
yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
Karen,
did.
Karen is our RoboVac. We call her Karen. So I summoned Karen to go and clean the house.
You
So
summoned Karen.
yeah. I program her. So like every Friday, she goes and she vacuums and she mops every inch of the house. It takes about an hour and a half to do. So I got up early, did that. Doing laundry. I've cleaned up. I've put away the dishes. All the house chores that need to get done. Because I don't like to
Karen.
do them on the weekend.
Karen done mopped your floors.
Yep.
A robot. Chris, you cease to amaze me, sir. you cease to amaze me. Hannah's laughing. I mean, Karen is a robot, y'all. Karen is the robot.
Yeah, she's the robot that cleans. She mops, she vacuums, and she self cleans herself. Don't have to do anything. All you have to do is take out the dirty water out the tank when she's done.
She's like a cat. She cleans herself.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is so
When
funny.
we moved here, I was like, yeah, I'm not cleaning all this. I said, there's technology for that.
Get a robot.
Listen, it makes life really, really a little bit easier.
That's one less thing you have to think about.
Yeah. I mean, you still have to. Don't get me wrong. You have to prep the place. So, like for instance, I pick up the dining room chairs, the stools at the counter, anything that's like we don't like have cords on the floor, so that's not a problem. But even if
you gotta have a clear space, you gotta have no clutter, right?
Yeah, yes and no, because she does recognize things. So, like socks and shoes and cords, because they have cameras on them. They recognize them and they won't roll over, so it doesn't get tangled up. But we don't, you know me, I don't like seeing cords, so all of our cords are tucked neatly and they're off the floor, so I don't have to worry about that. She goes to the bed, she cleans underneath the bed, under the couch, in the closet, the bathroom, and she knows when she's on hardwood floor versus carpet. So when she's on the carpet, she vacuums. When she knows that she's on the floor, she mops.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're that advanced now.
Yeah, she tells you, I'm finished, I'm going back home, all that stuff.
And can you see it? And she's probably attached to your app.
I program her through the phone. So I can pick a room, because when you first get it, they map the house because they have LiDAR on top. They map the entire house. So they know all the exterior walls, all the furniture, and what they can get under. And then once it's there, you can set each room. So I have like the hallway, the office, bathroom, guest bathroom, whatever. Tell her where, what I want to do. So sometimes, like when we leave out, if I'm not home on a Friday, I'll just say there's a button, clean entire home. She'll take about an hour and a half to do the whole thing. But like this morning, like Ronald slept a little bit late. So I just had her do the bathroom, the office, and the hallway first. And then the kitchen, dining room, living room. And then when I know he was up and getting ready to leave, I programmed her to clean our bathroom and our bedroom. Yeah, she pulls off. So she has two tanks at her base station: a clean water tank and a dirty water tank. She loads her water on by herself, cleans, comes back, empties it, puts in dirty water, and when the dirty water's full, I get a notification on my phone saying, "Hey, you need to empty the dirty water, or if there's not enough water in the tank, you need to add more water."
Wow.
Love it. Best purchase this year.
Jetsons. Almost. I won't say Jetsons, but almost Jetsons.
Close.
Wow. Here's George Jetson.
Gwendolyn, get him a RoboVac. Now, listen, they can range anywhere from like $300 to like $1,200. We ain't spent $1,200. I got one for $500. If you guys are looking for a good one, it's called Eufy, EUFY. They make vacuums. I believe they have I want to say they have a lawnmower too. I could be wrong. But they have security systems as well.
I love it. When after 2 years of being a nomad, maybe I'll think about wherever my home is. I may invest in a robot. That may be the first thing I do.
I love them.
I don't have.
I mean, granted, we still have a broom and we have a little dark hand vac, so like I can do like the couch and stuff like that. But it does really good with corners and everything. She has a little extension thing that she gets into the corners and does that. You can program to do deep cleaning where it'll go over each surface twice. Whatever you want, she can do it.
I love it.
Okay. Like I said, you have to prep. You have to prep. Pull up all the stuff off the floor, like all the chairs, and then let her do her thing.
Okay, that's it with the robot. The robot. Okay, guys, y'all gonna have to get a robot. You just heard it first. Chris should do an advertisement for the company.
I've wanted one for a while.
So there's a lot going on in the world. The numbers for labor numbers, I do believe, came out.
They did. I didn't get them yet.
And they're really bad, y'all, really bad. And you can.
Is that a surprise?
You can check out Don Lemon. I think they did it. He's doing a great job with Reese today on the job numbers and what that means to the economy, and also the impact of the Black community has lost all of the gains during the Biden and Harris administration have all been wiped out. And 300,000 plus Black women have lost their jobs, and also Black men have lost their jobs, and one of the highest numbers since, I do believe the number was 2017. So it's not looking good. Don't believe whatever this orange man is saying. He's like, we got a rolling jobs, everything, like nothing we've ever seen before. He's
right on that. In the opposite direction. So there were only 2,200 jobs that were added in August, and that was and the unemployment rate rose to 4.3%, the highest since 2021.
Coming out of COVID.
So that, and he fired the woman who reported those numbers, thinking that it's going to do something. Like, no, sir. All she's doing is reporting numbers.
She's not
creating anything.
She didn't create. She didn't do this. She didn't run the stats. The stats are run separately.
And hold on, revised data also showed employers cut 13,000 jobs in June, the first time that has happened since the pandemic effectively stalled the economy in December of 2020. So numbers are going in the opposite direction. People are losing their jobs. People are losing their health insurance. Food prices are going up. The cost of living is going up, and people can't sustain. So for all those that voted for that orange menace and thought that, he's going to turn the economy around and bring egg prices and milk prices down, you're the sucker, because it's the total opposite. And here's the thing, Democrats, Kamala Harris, everyone was saying he is lying.
Lying like a rug. Lying like a rug. I see also, she says, well, Salesforce is about to lay off about 4,000 people. Yes, layoffs are going to happen over the next couple of months. Another reason why I'm like, I try to get ahead of this thing. I just, like I said, I can't wait till the closing is done. So that way, I mean, obviously the money's in escrow for the sale of this apartment. I cannot wait for it to get rid and make sure that it's all squared away. The reason why also is that, again, I will be able to help my friends in this new era. That's the goal, is to help friends and family. But you have to be able to see the writing on the wall. And a lot of folks do not understand, or they don't know how to discern the writing on the wall. I'll never forget when that term was presented to me when I was at the stock exchange. I was on the trading floor. I was working for a company called PAX, and the older gentleman that used to sit next to us, I forgot his name, but he said, Ron, always remember to watch and look for the writing on the wall. And I had never heard that term before until he mentioned that to me, and I have lived by it to this day. If I would, I talked about it. Was it Bubba? Not it was Bubba. He wore the green jacket. Adrian wore the green jacket, and he had the gray hair. And he says, "If I come back as a red," he's. I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. He said, if I was to come back, he said, if I was to die and to come back as a reincarnation, he wants to come back, this is gross, as a toilet seat. In the women's bathroom. And I said, I can't, but this guy was crazy. He was the craziest person, but he was hilarious.
Listen to me. I think that he was projecting. He might have been doing something else. There are people like that.
He said that. I was like, what? So he had a lot of wisdom, but he had a lot of crazy too.
That's not crazy.
I was like,
he was telling you something.
I was like, what in the, that was not needed.
You need to check and see if he's still out on the outside or he's behind bars somewhere.
But I say this point because the insanity of it all is that was so insane and so far crazy. And but he also had a lot of wisdom when he talked about he was an older gentleman, and so he just had a lot of insight about just things that were happening in the world, and we would talk about politics, we would talk about the economy, we would talk about social issues, and he really had a good grasp. But he was a weird comedian. Adrian said there was a lot of cocaine on those exchange toilet seats too. There were the bathroom. I told you about the stock exchange, and I would when I first walked in, my first 6 months at this stock exchange, I won't say which one, I would walk in and go upstairs. My place where I used to work was called Post 16 on the top on the balcony.
Ooh.
And when I would go into the bathroom to get my day started, I would wash my hands and I'll go to the bathroom, wash my hands so I could be ready for the day. And you would just hear in the background Adrian may be right to this, because in the stalls you heard. And I was like, what is that? My first week, I couldn't believe, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is going on? What's this noise? And it was people and their cocaine.
Drugs.
Well, Wall Street back then was drugs everywhere. I mention it all the time. It was drugs everywhere. And you go to parties, it was drugs. You go around. We used to call Thames Street around the corner Pharmaceutical Boulevard, because they had all these people selling drugs on Thames Street. And but yeah,
well, why? Because wherever there's a lot of free-flowing money, that's when you tend to find like drugs and alcohol.
Money. Yes.
And like everyone had it, so it was like, okay, well, whatever, here.
Adrian says those parties were lit.
Someone sounds like speaking from experience.
Oh yes, well, they were. And I mean, we used to have at the stock exchange what was called the Christmas party, and it was usually right after Thanksgiving, about a week or so after after Thanksgiving. And the exchange used to order all of these foods, but these were the best foods you could ever dream. I mean, they had shrimps that were huge, lobsters that were huge. I mean, I do believe this was before GMOs. This was the best food of every kind. And then one year, I remember they divided the whole exchange, downstairs, upstairs, different areas of the exchange, into countries. And in those countries was the best of all of those foods. So you went over to the Korean area, you went to the Chinese area, you went to the, and then you had the southern area, then you had the west area, and they had food. There was more food than your brain could like wrap around. I'm going to eat all of this food. It was just so much, right, Adrian? Adrian, remember those? Adrian says, I wish I could tell y'all the funniest story about me and my friends at a party. Ron was not happy with us. That's right.
Uh-oh.
I was like, my boys are out of control. For those who don't know, when Adrian was younger, and I was saying, no McDonald's for you, sir. You're not working at no, nothing against the folks that work at McDonald's. Let me just put that out there. However, I was like, no son of mine is working at McDonald's. I'm a snob. I'm a snob. I was a real snob back then, too. I was a real snob. And I said, nope, we're going to get you a job at the stock exchange. And I went to my boss and said, you know these little guys running around with the red jackets, right? These people running around with the red jackets, they were called pagers. I said, I would like my son to have a job here. and they looked out for me. They looked at anything I asked for. They were really good. And also, not only was I able to get Adrian the job there, but we got Adrian's buddies there, Adrian's friends, some of the young people from the church. We had a great little posse going on there, and all of them are now successful adults. All of them. I think almost all of them.
That's awesome.
Maybe one is maybe there was a glitch in one of them, but all of them turned out to, because you know what it was, also having them work at the stock exchange. This was my madness of my plan, is that they had exposure to all of these wealthy people and to make these connections matter, and also to connect with these amazing. When I say amazing, don't get me. I'm not saying rich people are amazing, but the exposure of they were like Adrian immediately. I didn't even know Adrian was able to do math so fast in his head like he did, and we just, I guess I discovered, but his boss, one of the men on the floor, noticed that, and they said, "Hey, we want him to work for us." So he went from being a pager, ended up working for what we call a brokerage firm, and and next thing you know, he was there. He even got a badge and all that other stuff. I mean, really made some strides at the stock exchange, and but it's about the exposure, and I will tell you. The money was available everywhere. I mean, we made so much money in the 80s and 90s on Wall Street, but the 80s was really I remember getting my first American Express Platinum card, and I was like, oh my gosh. I had skipped over the gold. No, I did have a gold for like a couple of months, and then I went straight into the platinum. Never got to the black, though. Never got to the black card. But it was that kind of world. It was lots of, and you met like the owners of the Giants. Like you were hanging out with the people that owned the Giants. You know what I mean? This was family members or get tickets for the, at the net games. And Adrian used to get tickets from his boss from the net games. And we used to go to the net games over in Jersey. And I mean, the exposure, it was the point. The exposure was the point, that they could be anything they wanted to be because they could see it.
Well, those circles are different than everyday circles. Like
that's where the money,
that's where the country's money was moved around. And when you're in that, you see how the world actually works. And to be able to be exposed to those people, it gives you a different insight. So you get a leg up. And I'm glad that they were able to take full advantage of it and make lives for themselves out of that. That was awesome.
And it's also, not to, Adrian's in the building here, But it is also see, people think oh, because your father does this or your dad does this, blah, 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 and you're in there because of somebody. But you know what? People can open doors for you. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
People can use their resources to open doors for you. But once you get there, it's up to you to make
Absolutely.
use of the advantage that you received. And
Absolutely.
a lot of the young folks did. I tell you, Adrian ended up being one of the working as a was it full broker? Or he was like a specialist broker at one of the firms. And next thing you know, the other young man that used to stay with at our house, he went upstairs and worked in for the SEC. And I mean, they all started to grow and move into these amazing jobs and different places. But yeah, you can get someone in the door, but it's up to them to flourish.
Yeah.
That's where it is. So I used to strive to get them in the door. I used to tell them, agent will tell you, I would say, I can get you in the door, but it's up to you to flourish.
Yeah.
And they did. They most of them did, and I am so proud of all of them. The young people, the young men and women, young girls and young boys at the church, they were all starting out in their careers in college and high school, getting out of high school. And that's what you do. That's what we all have to do as leaders and as people that have abilities to make a difference in people's lives. You should open doors for people behind you. I remember when I first got to the stock exchange, I was one of a few Black people on the trading floor. And we all stuck together. Some of us are still close friends to this day. We talk to each other on on Facebook, because we needed to depend on each other. I'll never forget one lady. She was like my big sister. As soon as I got there, she took me under her wing and said, "This is how it's done." And she gave me every insight on everything I needed to survive on that trading floor. And that trading floor it could be reckless, it could be crazy, it could be wild. And when I first got my job at the stock exchange, I was thrusted into what they call the pit. The pit. You ever seen trading places and you see them all in the pit? And they want 3 5 8 3 and all the money, everyone's screaming and yelling. That was my first exposure at the stock exchange. I was thrusted. I was dumped.
Yeah, but that's how
into
you.
the
I
pit.
think that's how you learn. That's how you learn.
Adrian says, the beauty is Ron showed us how, and then we opened the doors for others. Yes, right. They
But that's how you
did.
have to do it.
They start looking out for one another. Yes, they did. Anthony Adrian says, the thing is, especially as people of color, you can only open doors if you have a good reputation yourself. Character is everything. It certainly was. It was such an interesting time that like I said, I came in as one of a few Black guys on the floor, and we were all young. We were in our 20s, and we opened the doors for others, and then it was our characters that stood out. My bosses, because I was a person of integrity, I had a high standard. I had a higher standard for myself than I had for others. Anything I said on the trading floor, they were like, "It's true. Ron said it." And that was my reputation on the trading floor. If I went to my bosses and say, "This guy is going to be awesome," they were like, "Okay, Ron." And they got the job. They got the job based on a word, because of your reputation. You must always live above the fray. You must always, even when everyone else is saying, "I'm going to compromise, I'm going to just hang out and just kind of like ride the coattails," you got to go in and you have to make a space for yourself. And I had a break. You believe it or not, when I ended up getting that job at the stock exchange, I failed the test. The first examination they gave me, I had never taken an exam like that. It was like, I mean, I had studied for the FAA, got my FAA license, and got all these, I worked hard to get like major. I mean, the FAA is like, getting your FAA license was like close to like the bar exam. Like you had to do your practical, you had to do the books, you had to take an exam, written exam, you had to take an oral exam, then you had to be interviewed. It was it was rough to be. It was a rough path to get your FAA license, but I was excellent academically. But when I took that test for to be on the stock exchange, I did not know what hit me. It was like, Margaret just got out the cab. She pressed the third button to enter the elevator. She went to the 15th floor. And on the 15th floor, she grabbed 12 envelopes. And when she grabbed 12 envelopes, she put it into the cart with 4 wheels. And I mean, and it went on. This was like you had to listen to this whole tape. And then at the end of it, they gave you the questions, and you had to answer all of the questions. What floor did she get off on? What button did she hit? How many buttons were there? How many wheels were on the cart? What cart was it? Where the cart? You had to memorize this whole thing. But you know what? The woman, she was so gracious. And she looked at me and she says, I can tell you're an amazing young man. She goes, I know you could do this test. Come back tomorrow and do it again. And I aced it the next day. I had never seen a test like that before. I was like, who goes for a job and you get, that kind of test? But I realized I got blessed. Someone opened the door for me. Who am I not to open the door for others?
Right.
So every time you get a break in life, that break is not just for you. It is for everyone that is coming behind you. So use your opportunities to bless others. So anyway, that was my PSA for today.
Okay.
That was my PSA for today. Okay, what else you guys are saying in the building? Okay, let's see. I see back here. Mimi says, yep, heard about it when I visited purchased New York back in the day. Money used to be spent on everything. Yes, yeah. Wall Street back in the 80s was the money. You remember the models, the music, everything. It was 80s was the decade of decadence and greed. And remember the movie Wall Street?
Yeah.
Greed, for the lack of a better word, is good. So it says connections matter, exposure. Yeah, I got that. And that's where the money reside. Trust and believe. DS says, I love the 80s. In the opinion, the best decade, the best music came out of the 80s. That's what I'm saying. I like the 80s music. And Mimi says, that needs to be a PSA. You got it, dear. And Adrian says, specialist trader before moving to the back office. Yes, that's what Adrian's position was, on the trading floor. And Anthony says, credit cards have their perks as long as you keep that bill paid. My Capital One Venture card got us upgraded at the Salamander Hotel. Back then, your credit card was huge. Like, I remember having my platinum card. And when I would go into these places and, the people just weren't expecting for the black guy to have the platinum card. They weren't expecting it. They were just like, what is this? I remember one time when I first got one, they were like, what is this? But you had a lot of perks with those cards back in the day. American Express used to give you all kinds of benefits. I mean, you used to go to hotels, you go to, this is before they even had the diner club cards. And you would just, but being at the stock exchange was also, we got these huge bonuses. Huge. So you could run up your credit, well, within reason. You could run up your credit card technically, and you knew at the end of the year, you were going to get your bonus. And your bonus, a lot of people, their bonuses were 6 digits, not 3 digits, not 2 digits. Their bonuses were 6 digits, 5 digits. We got big bonuses back then. Huge. I've never had a bonus like that since. But I tell you one thing, you could use your card and then you would go and say, oh, it's going to get paid off. Those are the 80s was the years of abundance. So there you have it. So true, Anthony, Adrian, I got that one. Way to respect. Anthony says, way to represent Ron. Integrity is everything. It is. It is.
It is.
You could, reputations take years to build, but can be torn down in a minute. Let that sink in. There's some love there. There's some love. Come on now, says DS. DS, were you raised in church? I want to know. You got a lot of amens going on. You said a lot of church stuff. I wonder if you were raised in church, sir. Come on now, he says. Anthony says, your blessings isn't always for you. Sometimes you're the vessel carrying the blessing for someone else who needs it.
Absolutely true.
Anthony, come on, brother. Come on, brother. I know this is, for those that don't know, that are new to this community, if you just happen to see this community on YouTube, there are a lot of people of faith in this community. Now, that doesn't mean they go to church all the time, and that doesn't mean they're like these Bible thumpers. No, there are a lot of faith-based people in this community, which is I appreciate that. A lot of faith-based. Should we do some focus stuff, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, this was a good focus, right? This was a good focus.
Yeah, it was. But it's a 1:45 the hour.
Already. Holy moly.
Yes.
We've been talking already for 45 minutes. Jaddy says, good morning, beautiful people. And he says he's just looking around, says the DS man. And Kaz is in the building. Okay, so there is something I would love to share with you. So there's a couple of things. Chris, do you have any Focus Friday?
I have one. I have to find it. Let me find it, and then I'll share it.
Okay, let me go in here, and let me go because I need to change my profile here. I need to change and do something, and yeah, okay. So we'll do this one. We'll do this. Here we go. I always set up stuff for you guys. So it's a matter of deciding on which one I want to share with you. And the saves are popping up on the screen. A little slow there. Okay, here we go. And Roland Martin. Y'all got to hear this. You got to hear what Roland Martin said. Again, if you don't follow Roland Martin, you need to follow. And let me just get this up here. Now, if you have children in the room, you may want them to leave or put headsets on them. But it is worth hearing. It is worth hearing. So please hear what Roland is saying. Okay, here we go.
Understand that what is on the ballot is they could wipe out with one goddamn ruling more than 30 black congressional seats. That means right now the Congressional Black Caucus is the largest caucus in the United States Congress, and this Supreme Court could literally wipe out half of the damn Congressional Black Caucus. So don't tell me you're being too emotional. Don't tell me it doesn't matter. Right now, they're looking to wipe out Congressman Cleaver in Missouri. They're looking to wipe out Congresswoman Sykes in Ohio. They've already wiped out a black seat in Florida. I've told y'all repeatedly that they want to defund Black America. They want to take everything economically, everything politically, academics, business. They want Jim Crow 2.0 to return. And what you had better understand is read a goddamn history book. Because this is exactly what happened after the 1875 decision. This is exactly what happened after Plessy versus Ferguson, when they wiped out black representation in Congress. Go read the speech of that last black Republican who was from North Carolina. The reason the Congressional Black Caucus Phoenix Awards is called that because he said to them, you may wipe us out now, but we're going to rise like a phoenix. Every single one of y'all watching, y'all want to understand why I'm trying to tell y'all, right. Stop sitting here debating this bullshit, LeBron and MJ, and we talk about dance and everything. These white nationalists literally are trying to wipe out every black advancement that we have seen, not since the Civil Rights Movement, but since Reconstruction. This is not a drill. This is reality. You had better understand, I'm not going to be silent while it happens. And if you are black, if you're unwilling to fight, if you ain't got the spirit of Shirley Chisholm, of being unbought and unbossed, well, get your ass out the way and let some folks in who are ready to do battle.
Hello.
Yeah.
That was, Roland, he has his moments of where he just, he goes in pretty much all the time, but there are some moments that are just really, I call them priceless moments. That was a priceless moment. And I say it over and over and over and over again. And some of my family members, they get upset with me and they say, Ron, don't say that. We believe, we have faith. We know God won't let us. And I'm like, no. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. And I've been saying this, and Elise has been saying it. I've always been saying, they are not trying to get us back to pre-civil rights. They are going to take us back to pre-Reconstruction. And most people don't even understand what that means. What was Reconstruction? Why did Reconstruction happen? It was because black people became free, technically, on paper, before Jim Crow. But then they got upset because after slaves became free, they began to set up institutions, education. They began to create towns. They began to do all sorts of amazing stuff. And then they became legislators in the congressional bodies in their states. And then, like my college professor, my white college professor said, I loved him. He was so good. When I studied Civil War in the 1800s, he says, they could not believe that their slaves were prospering more than they were. And because their slaves, who used to be slaves, were prospering, and doing better than them. And then not only that, passing laws and creating legislation in the southern states. The white nationalists of that time could not let it stand. And then they came up and created Jim Crow. There's always a backlash, but anytime Black people move forward. The white nationalists are the most dangerous people on earth. And every country, apartheid in South Africa, apartheid is coming back to America if the people do not rise up against it.
Yeah.
And again, we will continue to say, and again, we know of white people that support. We know white people that are our allies. Again, slaves could not have been freed without also having partnerships with the abolitionists. Yes, slaves fought. Yes, slaves did all they could to get out of slavery. But you had to have allies. And you still have to have allies to this day. And Roland speaking here, my biggest fear in this country is that Black people have become so asleep. We're waking up, though. We are waking up. And I hear more people thank God for the internet. Thank God for apps. Thank God for people that are posting on social media. Because you are seeing, and you always look at the young people, 40 and under, that are on fire, teaching history. It's incredible. We're living in one of the greatest periods of mankind. But there is also a fight back. No, there's a certain part of the population on the planet that does not like diversity, that does not like people being together. It sounds wild. It sounds insane. You gain more. How many times Gwendolyn and I talk about this all the time? As companies, the best companies are the ones that are diverse. The best companies are the ones that are connected to others.
Yep.
So anyway, if you get a chance, go to Roland Martin's page. Also, if you support independent media, he's I have never heard anyone say it, but I will say he's the father of independent media. You know why? He was the first one to leave CNN, corporate America, and start his own network on YouTube.
Oh.
And I would consider him a father of independent media. Now you got the Don Lemon, now you have all the other folks out there. But it was Roland Martin that went and said, "Okay, y'all don't want you don't want to work with me to help get the news out to people of color and to support our communities." And then he sets up his own network, and it costs money to create a network. And all the people that have gone through that channel of the Roland Martin show, the Unfiltered, my hat goes off to him all the time, because it takes a lot of work and money to do what he does.
A lot of resources.
I see in here, I'm curious, what do you guys feel? When you just heard that, what did you guys feel when you heard that? Did it make you feel some kind of way? Did it make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm in the corner? Or did it make you say, oh, maybe he's a little bit too much? How are you feeling about where we are? And we just got our numbers. We just got the unemployment numbers, I should say labor numbers.
And they're not good.
And they're not good. And they're they're even worse for the Black community. Because again, the white nationalists understand the role of Black women.
Hold on. Here's the
community.
thing. What did the Orange Menace say when he was campaigning? Hey, Black people, what do you have to lose? Vote for me. This is what you have to lose: your jobs,
everything,
your dignity,
everything,
your insurance, everything.
So again, so that's a good Focus Friday for me that I wanted to share with you. I said, man, Roland, you hit it on the nose. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. It was worth looking at. And
well, listen,
yes, you have one.
Well, I want mine to be the last one because it's something that's a little bit more joyful and cheerful. So
okay, we'll wait for that one.
So if you want to wait for that one to the end.
I got one more.
Right.
I mean, for anybody in the audience, if you have anything in the community, FF, and then put it the name of what you want to focus on. But there is one more that I wanted to share with you. This was quite interesting too. I just stumbled across this 2 days ago, and let's see what you think of it. Poetry. And here we go. Ba, ba, ba. Listen up. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Look, white man, how strong I am. Look, white man, how mean I am. Look, white man, how fast I am. Oh, did you see how far I ran? Look, white man, how smart I am. I read books. Do you too? Look, white man, how clean I am. Oh, don't you like my brand new suit? See, white man, just like you, the red, the white, and all the blue. I'm not like them that look like me. They're lost inside identity, wrapped up in ancient memory. A downtrodden imbecile with violence on the spectrum, lazy as a cotton-picking, no-good grandfather who turned into a vampire underneath the moonlight, searching for revenge in the middle of the summer where his mother burned in the hands of the swine, who was lost in the pen of confession with the Lord under siege of repentance. Old Bibles clear the dust with the fortune of oppression passed down from the womb to the tomb, from the womb till it grows as a seed in the sun, where poplar trees keep a tally of the lashes on their bark, where the meat starts to sour, turn rotten, unrooted, and forgotten. If God turned the other cheek, then why can't we, white man? I don't understand, but I think I'm getting pretty tired, white man. Would you like to have a seat by me? Who, me? No, I won't bite, white man. Look, see how nice I am? Oh, I think I lost my crown, white man. It must have fallen off of my head. Do you think you could lend a hand, white man, my biggest fan? Now tap those keys for you, white man. Now play those strings for you, white man. Now sing my pain to you, white man. Look, white man, how blue I am. Look, white man, how.
Now that was some poetry.
Mm.
I was like, wow. Like I said, we live in one of the greatest times of our, I mean, to get that, the words we can stumble upon in social media, the people and their gifts that we can grab hold to in social media. We live in the greatest time. Yes, there's some crazy and mean and nasty and insane things that are going on. But we still live in one of the best eras in human history.
Yes, indeed.
So, Chris, I'm going to end with yours, and then
all right. So
what are saying in the building though first before we go there?
Okay.
We have in the building, Mimi. Yes. Jazzy says, that's got to do grassroots for voter registration. Stomp like we did to get Obama in office. Yes, Jazzy. Sorry, that was Mimi. And also Jazzy says, I'm not sure how it happened, but it turned from community to self. Yes, we need to work on community. Jazzy says, I'm not sure it happened. Okay, got that one. And yes, Anthony. Okay. Anthony says, we were doing better than them because we were the ones that were doing it. The only difference is we're doing it for ourselves now.
Yeah.
Jazzy says, suggested reading, Black Reconstruction in America by W.E.B. Du Bois and David Livering Lewis. The New Jim Crow by Michelle The Miseducated Negro by Cater Goodwin Woodson. Suggested reading. I love that. I will leave this here for a moment so you can take your phones and do a little snap and make sure you get this information. I'll also include it. I will include it into the description. Hold on a second. Let me get my phone so I can get that. A nice snap of that. Thank you. That way I don't lose it. There we go. Okay, that's good. That's good material there. Okay, so Chris, share what you're about to say.
So, I mean, I've jumped onto this baby AI craze like most people have, and I came across one that is specific to like Jamaica, and I don't know, there's something very comforting about it, just seeing these baby AI. So I just wanted to share this one. I thought it was a great way to end on a Friday. It's kind of fun, and this page is called 876 Baby AI. Those that don't know what 876, that's the area code for Jamaica. And these are just fun. They're cute. So I'm gonna play a few, and
Baby, where you dress up so far?
My hair is carnival. I come shape my pampers before nap time.
Why you out here alone?
My mother sent me for party, but me don't have teeth yet, so I just buy cocoa bread.
Baby, what you doing out here?
I come sell banana for pay my hospital bill. Them say me owe for the pacifier.
Baby, where you dress up so far?
My hair is carnival. Who named Bob Marley? You know my cousin? Mommy, I choose some can wine before me walk. If me a born Jamaican, that mean me get free KFC every week, man. Who named Bob?
Baby, who you voting for?
I'm voting for the one who give me more sweet and bag juice.
Baby, who you going to vote for this election?
I can't tell you. I'm still waiting for the pamper promise.
Baby, which party you support?
Me support the party where I have the most Corrigotan festival.
So baby, why you not like about waking up in the morning?
My eye them still glued on like crazy glue. Me not ready for school yet.
Tell me, why you hate about morning?
My after left my blanket crew. Me miss them all day.
Why you not like about getting up in the morning?
My bed always beg me for stay on my week. I can't tell it no.
Little princess, why mash up your vibes about morning time?
The rooster crow for 5 o'clock like me have work. Him need for chill.
Not like about the morning rush.
I can't find my other shoes. I swear it run away with the dog.
Wow.
Baby, why you dress up so early?
I'm always give my porridge where hot like lava. My tongue burn up morning time.
Baby, why you...
There you have
Yes.
it. And go back to the title of it. What's the name of it again?
So it's called 876 Baby AI. Hold on, let me put it back on the screen so you guys can take a look at it. 1 second. There it is. So it's called 876 Baby AI.
Excellent. Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure I had it on my screen. That is it, y'all. Oh, we didn't do our media.
Nope.
Stuff,
Announcements.
There we go. Make sure you join our email list today and click on go to ronlewisphotos.com and you can do that and join our email. just in case these apps aren't here any longer. Also, I am an event photographer. I will be doing event photography even as I travel around the world. So hire me wherever you can. Also, thank you to the Patreon members. Thank you so much for joining us, and not only joining us, but also supporting us. Thank you for the wonderful Patreon people that support what we do here. And without them, there would be no Touch Base Daily. And last but not least, you're invited to join the YouTube channel, this YouTube channel right here. Hit the like and subscribe so that way we can get to 1,000 organically. That's the key word there, organically. Okay, that's it. That is it, Chris. Any announcements?
One more, and here we go.
Hello, and welcome to the recap show. My name is Chris Edwards. I'm here with my other two co-hosts, TJ and Roland. Every week we join you and recap one of your favorite shows. So don't forget to like our page, to subscribe, and to also hit the notification button so you can get notified every week when we drop new videos. New videos drop every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Thank you guys for watching, and we can't wait to see you guys next week.
And there you have it. There you have it. There you have it, guys. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. If you want to, you can join me tomorrow. I will be on the east side at 79th Street. We are having our closing of summer street festival. So you can join us tomorrow on 3rd Avenue. I'll be there live, like I'm always there. And I'll give more information for that on my pages. And but it's gonna be a great time. Food, street food, clothing, all kinds of merchandise, all the vendors, all the small business owners will be out there. I'll be representing the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce. So I will be there in my duty as the ambassador for the chamber. And I'll be on the street. So come on out and join us tomorrow on the east side. I do believe it's 3rd Avenue. 3rd Avenue between the 60th and 82nd Street. It's the biggest street festival in the city. So come on out to that tomorrow. Starts at 10 o'clock 10:30 in the morning, and it ends at 5 o'clock. However, probably in an hour earlier because they say thunderstorms will be coming in around 4 o'clock. So get out there before 4 o'clock, and you will enjoy the street fair here in New York City in Manhattan. And I think that is all of my announcements for today. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, DS. Thank you for all those that chime in, Kelly A, all of you folks that chime in and make this conversation the conversation that is worth having. See you later. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time.